What's up, everybody? It's Matt from the Live Company here. I'm a full-time software engineer with a background in biomedical engineering, and I would love today to talk about if AI is a net positive for engineers or a net negative. Just getting straight into it, I want to talk about the pros of AI that I think everybody kind of understands. AI makes you more efficient as an engineer. There has been studies that have shown that this isn't the case, but for me, if I have a problem in a personal project that I'm working on and I can't figure it out and Google's not working because Google is like, I have no idea what's going on Google search nowadays, I can use AI to help me solve that problem. Like I was having trouble making I had a spinning wheel on one of my front end elements that wasn't displaying properly, and I just didn't know how to fix it. So I used ChatGPT 5 to help me fix it and diagnose what the problem was. And I was able to do that in like 2 prompts, right? And so what would have taken me probably maybe 30, 15, I would say more like 30 minutes, going through documentation, looking how exactly it was written and done, I can now use AI to help me figure out problems that would have taken me a longer time to figure out. The second point that I want to make is that the knowledge that you gain using AI can be basically infinite. If you want to figure out something, brainstorm something that is like well documented or well researched, let's say you want to understand how like this part of history worked or this concept in a book, why it's the way it is, AI is really good at summarizing knowledge and making things more digestible. If you're somebody who struggles with reading long passages, you could say, hey, summarize this for me. You might not get as good as an understanding as if you would have read the entire thing, but again, it makes you more efficient and it makes knowledge more efficient to access. And I just really want to highlight that. That's like the main pro, right? Like how much easier can you make it for a human to interact with a computer so that something results like out of it, right? You gain some knowledge, you create some product, you start some business, you do something. That's the thing that I think AI is the best at. The cons are many, right? So there's a version of you where you use AI responsibly. You say like, oh yeah, I'm only going to use it to help me understand complex topics or help me search up things that I just can't find. But a lot of people just use AI for everything, right? Like, I'll give you an example. Imagine you are fighting with your best friend, and rather than just having a conversation with your best friend, you ask ChatGPT, hey, I'm having really like big issues with my best friend. Like, how do I approach this and do this? And then, ChatGPT just like, oh yeah, don't worry, you're not in the wrong. You shouldn't have a conversation. It's like you're essentially getting false positives when you should be going out dealing with repercussions for your actions and taking the step of like being a human and like understanding there's consequences for things that you do, right? So like it's essentially a crux in a bad way. So you can use AI tools in a way that it's like, I don't need to know this, I can just use AI for it. I don't need to deal with this difficult situation in my life. I can just use AI for it. And some people say, no, that's not true. Who's doing that? But I'm telling you, the modern average American probably pulls open ChatGPT, talks to it like it's like they're on the phone, and it asks it these questions. I think there was like a survey saying that 90% of people have used AI for therapy and things like that. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that you wouldn't expect the ways that people use AI. It's kind of sad how we've gotten to a level where the social dynamic between human to human contact is like getting a little bit like less valued now. Like more people are saying, oh, just talk to like the robot, or like, why are you waiting on the phone for a representative? Just like go through the chat thing or whatever. It's like faster, it's more efficient. It's a solution that people are pushing, right? Like let's say like McDonald's, right? Rather than hiring more people to like own and operate the storefront, they'll just replace everything with a machine so that more people will just like order food without having to interact with a human being. And we're just devaluing human to human contact. So that's like one of the main things of AI. It's a crux for a lot of things. And because of that, I think that the bar of what you actually need to understand when you're engineering, when you're having conversations with people, when you're doing all these things, needs to be higher. You need to almost like see through the level or like layer of understanding that AI has in order for you to actually be like a master or say that you're good at something. So you can say like, yeah, I'm excellent at communication and sending emails and doing all this. Because you use AI? No, it's because I know how to use AI after writing thousands of emails and like doing all this stuff already. That makes me a better communicator or something like that, right? So it's like, for me, a good example is with jujitsu. For me, like, if you have a position that you're really good at, let's say it's like close guard, right? If you only do moves from that position, right, and you only are good from that position, if you somehow get your guard pass, somehow like lose that position and you can't use the moves that you only know, you're just going to be completely dead in the water and you're going to get submitted. And so with like AI, and I'm bringing that back to this, AI is just a crux. You can't say as like an engineer that I'm just going to rely on AI to like solve this problem for me, because you're just pushing a problem away for another time. The technical debt levels right now are probably higher than ever before, because you can just build a front end prompting AI. You can just like build something out of the blue with prompts and words, not understanding what it actually does. It just makes the decisions for you. So it would take forever if you were actually sitting there typing, making all the decisions for yourself when it comes to, like, let's say the colors on a website, or the colors, or the way things are formatted, the way buttons look or something like that. But AI just does it for you, so you don't have to make those decisions. But down the line, when you want to change something, when something breaks and it's because of this stupid reason that an AI put in that you didn't even know about, you'll have to like deal with those repercussions. And that means like the bar gets higher. You should understand now all the things you implemented using AI, and like, if you don't, you're essentially not even doing work. You're just like putting yourself even further behind. Because more code isn't like the solution with AI. It's, you should be making more efficient and like less code, right? You shouldn't have it where the, like, oh, my AI tool, Claude, GPT-5, whatever, it was able to create this 4,000 line page of, a solution for this really simple front-end interface I was making. It should be like, no, I understand what it was trying to do. It solved this specific problem for me. I didn't need to generate everything. I was able to just use it in a way that like I had perspective on and I understood, right? It's like, you want to be able to flow, not rely completely on AI. And that's what people are doing. They're just completely relying on it. And honestly, I've done it too. Like, who hasn't asked a question they had completely no idea about, had said, hey, AI, whatever, help me out with this question. I have no clue what I'm talking about. Give me a response or an answer that you think is closest, and then like explain it to me. And most people don't do it, even explain it to me, right? So like, I was looking for gym exercises to do because I go to the gym maybe 3-4 times a week, and I get tired of my sets and like my routine. So I'm like, hey, just generate me a list of the best exercises for this. And like, I didn't even like research or try figuring out which ones were the best. I just took AI for its word and I just tried them out, right? And that's like laziness on my part, because I should have checked. I should have, asked somebody. I should have gone up to somebody who lifts more weights than me and then been like, hey, does this make sense? Is this true? But like I said, it just allows you to be easy. And it makes it so that you may think that you have an understanding of something, but the bar just keeps getting higher. And there's nothing you can do about that. You just have to be cognizant of, hey, this is a crux. I understand that I'm putting myself more behind, relying on this solution rather than actually figuring it out myself. And that's the worst part, right? The human brain, there's a side that's really go, 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 figure this thing out, put the block in the puzzle, answer the question as fast as you can. And then there's another part of the brain that's like, wait, no, let me think about this. Why am I doing this? Why is this happening? Why is this question being asked? And 90% of people will stick with that level 1 of like intelligence. They'll like just go, they won't stop to think. They'll just, take action, ask a question, not understand what they're asking. And I'm guilty of this, right? It's like, it's easy to do that, but it really takes that level 2 of understanding to properly utilize AI and to properly like understand what you're actually doing. And so, yeah, my whole point is, I think there are a lot of pros and cons to using AI in 2025. The negatives outweigh the positives in a little bit of the sense, but I also believe that there are huge new opportunities being created always, not just with AI, but with like everything else, right? So you don't need to use AI to create a software app. You can use AI to help you brainstorm ideas for marketing for like a landscaping company or something like that. It doesn't have to be just building software. Just because AI is better at coding doesn't mean it can't like do other things as well. So think about that too. My name is Matt from the Live Company. I hope you enjoyed listening, and thank you for watching. Peace.